we can take the teaching of the Buddha to be essentially pure Dharma, or what is meant by this is the way that we can arrive at a pure mind, an enlightened mind, and a mind full of joy, free of happiness and sorrow. For in essence, Buddhism came out of Sanatana Dharma, or Hinduism, as it was called in that time, but the teaching is essentially one. And we can find the essence of this teaching from the actual final sermon, or the last words of the Buddha, as he actually was laying upon the bed or the couch from which he attained Mahanirvana. His final words to us, not only to those who are present, but to all creatures who strive for spiritual illumination for the aeons that followed, were this. The Buddha said, as he sat beneath the solid tree at Kunisinagara, his last words to his disciples were this: make of yourself a light. Rely upon yourself. Do not depend upon anyone else. Make my teachings your light. Rely upon them. Do not depend upon any other teaching. Consider your body. Think of its impurity, knowing that both its pain and its delight are alike causes of suffering. How can one indulge in its desires, therefore? Consider yourself. Think of its transiency. How can you fall into delusion about it and cherish pride and selfishness, knowing that they must all end in inevitable suffering? He said, my disciples, the teaching that I have given you are never to be forgotten or abandoned. They are to be practiced. So the question before us is, what is the actual practice of the holy ones that have come before us? What is the actual guidance that we receive from masters and teachers? And what is the roadmap or the way before us that the scriptures lay out for us to follow? The Buddha went on to say, giving answer to these significant questions about our spiritual life, this: the Buddha nature is that of a threefold body, three aspects that must be brought forth, cultivated, and enlivened. The three aspects of the Buddha body are this. There is an aspect of essence, or Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya is that essential righteousness, that essential aspect of our inner nature which is free of suffering, which is free of diminishment, and which is free of its transitory nature. But this is our essence. This is the inner body. This is not something to be relied upon unless it is awakened. So therefore, the Buddha says the second body is the aspect of a potentiality, or sambhoga kaya. We have the potential to manifest this essence within, but it only lies dormant in potentiality until the Dharma, the wheel of Dharma, is set forth and we begin to practice to enliven that which is our essence. So therefore, the Buddha concludes by saying, the third body of the Buddha nature is this. It is an aspect of manifestation, or nirmana kaya. We must somehow cause that which is essence in us to become manifest. And therefore, that's why the Buddha says, this Dharma is to be practiced. This Dharma is to be brought forth in actuality in our lives through constant meditation, through constant reflection, and through an ever abiding effort to remain in purity of mind and free of distracting thoughts. The Buddha's body is in this aspect. It fills every corner of the universe. Therefore, what the Buddha is saying to us, that as we take the essence and strive for its potential and cause it to manifest, we have an expansion of our own awareness and consciousness where we take in the entire universe. And so therefore we see that actually the significant, the very important aspect is, as the Buddha says, practice is the essential for controlling the mind, and controlling the mind in concentration through the virtue of meditation, by which the nature of meditation is to cause an expansion and an ever aware and acute perception. So therefore we become trained to focus on the inner aspects of our mind, control them, and from that point the essence becomes a potential manifestation, and through control of the inner nature we also have domination and are no longer slaves to the external passions of anger and greed and lust and avarice and all of the foibles that we fall prey to. So the Buddha is saying, yes, we are in essence that, but it is only put in a potential form for those who do not cultivate the nirmanakaya, or the manifestation of that which was within. So calling on the great ones through prayer, meditation, and a striving awareness to be aware of the impurities. And yes, the word defilement is very much cognizant with the essential Buddhist teaching. In the West, many shun away from that idea, thinking we are all pure and our Buddha nature is without defilement. But that nature is, as the Buddha has shown us, only in the potential form until the mind becomes controlled, and it is controlled by reserving and conserving our energy, by not wasting it and not causing a diminishment of our power and the potential of our capacity through all of the expense of mental energy, through greed and especially anger and hatred. So let us go forth and strive as to become, as the Buddha himself said, Buddhas of our own nature. For he said in his final teaching, we have the potential to be a Buddha or a beast. So therefore let us strive to purify ourselves through meditation, prayer, and right livelihood. But it begins with right attention on that which is within, so we can become aware of that which is unwholesome. And striving forth, we will receive the medicine that the Buddha is offering us for the healing of our mind and heart, and for the elimination, finally, of all suffering and strife.